What is up, everyone? Welcome to Reality Room Podcast with Paul.
And Dave.
Bringing you the latest on Survivor 35, heroes versus healers versus hustlers. Okay, so we missed last episode. We
watched it, though.
Yeah, we watched it. It just happens sometimes. We didn't get a chance to make a video about it, but won't happen again. At least I don't think it will. But anyway, we're gonna jump straight into this episode. I think the only thing important that we should mention from that episode is the
tribal.
Well, and Joe found another idol. So Joe finds another idol, and Ryan decides not to go, not to stick with Allie.
Yep. So bye Allie, and that was it. The rest of the episode was pretty uneventful, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I felt bad for Allie. I honestly thought JP was going during the tribal because it was really looking like that. But I don't know.
I really couldn't predict that ending at all. I was just like, okay. I guess like they really have trust in JP.
All right, so they get back from tribal, and Chrissy's feeling pretty good about herself. She sees how she has a better relationship with Ryan and JP than they have with each other. She thinks that she's in a good position if a merge was to come about. What do you think? Do you think she's in a good position? I know everyone on Twitter has been saying how, like, oh, just give Chrissy the money already. She's playing so good.
Well, I mean, she was in a pretty good position, but let's be honest with the tribal. I just watched 10 minutes ago. She's not in the best position she thinks she is. She's got a lot of influence, though, and she's got a lot of allies, but she's also got a lot of enemies.
Yeah, that's certainly true, and I definitely agree with you there. I mean, she's like, when you're in charge of a tribe, I mean, in charge of like an alliance, like, you're in trouble. And the issue is people know that she's the one kind of like running the show for her side.
Yeah, no one here, I mean, outside of arguably Cole, like, no one's really stupid here. Everyone's got a pretty good head on their shoulders and knows what the hell's going on.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, so then we jump into the Yawa tribe. Now, the Yawa tribe has not lost one immunity challenge at this point. And it's been 18 days, and there are 3 healers on that tribe who have also never been to tribal council yet. So they basically are, they're sitting pretty at this point, and they're like, okay, well, how about us 5 strong to the end? So that's their thought process, and they're kind of, and Lauren and Ben, they're kind of considering it. Ben less so. I believe they gave Ben like a little monologue. I mean, what do you think? Do you think that this was even a possibility for them to stick together?
It was up in the air. I mean, the real one who would have not probably stayed with them was Mike, because he just kind of fit into like the like older crew with like Ben and Lauren, and then I would figure he would gravitate over to Chrissy because like all of them kind of like gravitated towards each other because they look at themselves as the older ones versus the younger kids. So I could have saw Mike going there because Mike, we've all know that Mike had the target on his back that Joe's trying to put on him. But now Joe wants him as a number. So
right. I mean, that's certainly something that could come into play later on if the healers make it a little further. Although, historically, when it comes to these things, even if you have like a tribe dispute early on, once a merge happens, more so, maybe less so recently, but more so in like the earlier seasons and even like mid and mid late seasons, a tribe sticks together. And it's just no matter what differences they had in the past, that's something that's settled once they decimate the other tribe. And I can't tell you how many seasons I've watched where they just gang up on one tribe, and that tribe just completely goes home. I can see that happening with the healers, although the trends for the past few seasons, season 33 and season 34, have not been like that at all. So I'm hoping for a similar trend this season in order to keep things a little more exciting. So let's jump into the Levu tribe.
just to go on that, actually, you're not wrong about that at all, because Ben you really have like in the middle caught between that, and you have enough heroes and hustlers that they just need like one to defect from the healer side, and they could do it. And the heroes and hustlers kind of look like they kind of want to ally against the healers.
And I don't disagree with you that that Mike could still do something because he still has an idol. Let's just
No, no,
make
no,
that
no,
very
that's
clear.
Joe. That's Joe.
No, Mike has an idol too. He found one, remember? With
Oh,
Jessica? That was a
that's
long time ago.
true.
That was a
That
while
that
back. That was a
that
while
was
back,
for
Joe.
that was a while back.
Like that wasn't even mentioned this episode. That's how long ago it was. Okay, so Levu, Ashley says her tribe is divided. They don't have any food. It's the perfect segue to emerge. You see a tribe really decimated, starving, and
Dying.
they have nothing. They're eating sugar. It's ridiculous. What do you think?
It was just so obvious. I mean, you didn't even have to watch like the little preview for this week's episode. It's just like, oh, they're gonna merge. Like they're dying here. Like all of them even said, like, we're having sugar for breakfast. This is pathetic.
Right. It's either a merge with a huge feast,
Or
or
someone dies.
they're guaranteed a win in the reward challenge. Because I remember seeing that a few seasons ago where they showed like a tribe completely starving and then they completely demolished the reward challenge, and they get to fill their bellies for a little
Well,
bit.
hey, willpower.
Exactly. That's exactly right. All right. So they get together and they're all merged. Yay! I mean, finally, this is what we've been waiting for. The individual game is here.
Just as
Um,
Ryan said, it's the playoffs now.
that's right. Although it's the playoffs when like how many people have left? Only 6 people, right? I say it's the playoffs when it's like final 8 or something. I don't know. I don't think the merge is the playoffs anymore. Now when it's final 12 in the
No,
most
but this
recent
was a pretty
seasons.
exciting merge episode, to be honest.
Yeah, it was because
That
we didn't
tribal,
know.
that tribal, bro.
Yeah, we didn't know where Ben and Lauren were going. It was really really interesting. Okay,
The
so
whole episode was unpredictable.
it was. I agree with you. So they go into the Outback Steakhouse meal, and they're all getting to know one another. They're catching up. Chrissy decides immediately does not like Joe. What do you think about that?
Yep, she just saw Joe. Joe kept on talking. She's like, nope, Joe is too obnoxious. I don't like him at all. Screw it. So she just decides to be like, hey, let's talk to Ben and catch up and be like, hey, I don't like Joe, but let's say this out loud at a dinner party.
And I think that's really interesting, like the way she did it, because when it comes right down to it, no one like they didn't show anyone else doing like a side conversation of them like catching her and Ben talking. Like you have people who are not like on her side, like right next to her, but they didn't hear her. I guess maybe she said like the wind was blocking it. Maybe the wind was blocking it. Maybe she's
No,
like that smart. I don't know.
no, she said that, and then on top of that, she said like everyone just like looked way too occupied with the food. I guess she just had like one of those moments where she just didn't even care. She just was like, "Hey, no one's gonna pay attention to this. They're all too busy shoving steaks down their mouth, and we can't blame any of them for doing that."
So Dave, break it down what you're thinking at this point. The tribes are merged. What do you think the numbers are going? Like even before they even show any of this stuff.
Even before tribal, first thing I thought was Chrissy's in control. It was pretty obvious. Chrissy was like totally in control with it. She had Ben. She had Ryan, who then pulled Devin in place. So you had Ryan, Devin, Ashley, JP. Bro, like everything is in her favor.
Yeah,
Literally,
I agree.
and I think she was even able to like pull Lauren over if it wasn't have been too hard for her. She just needed to be like, "Hey, we got to take out the healers and just gang up on them, and that's it."
But was it not Devin that had like the first opinion on that?
It was. I mean, Devin and Ryan, as usual. I
So
mean,
let's
they're back again, and it's what I said earlier. Like Devin was gonna ally with Ashley, and then pull her in, and then you're gonna have Ryan and his like small little alliance of people, and then the fact that you had Ashley who was tight with JP, and then Ryan got to know JP, it just was like this whole like little web of people, And the smartest thing is that you have Chrissy as the ally, but in truth, it's really kind of like Ryan's kind of like manipulating things a little bit, and the target's just painted on Chrissy, so he's got the safety net
Right,
while he's building
exactly.
up this web.
Right. I mean, everyone's saying how Chrissy is playing such a phenomenal game, and I agree with him on 100%. She's playing a great game. I think everything blew up in her face today, and we talked a little bit about
100%.
this. We talked a little bit about this
100%.
before. They know she's in charge, and that means everyone else in her alliance is in a much better position.
Hmm.
Um, so Joe tells the story about how he used the idol. And then Chrissy immediately comes up with the theory, hey, Joe knew where the idol was at his original tribe. Maybe he also found it in the new camp.
Yeah,
Smart.
it's smart. It's to the point where you almost think like, hey, someone told on production told her, which we know is not true. But Chrissy's really freaking smart, and it's actually kind of scary. And I think Joe might have actually overheard that part.
Maybe. He very well could have. I mean, he was like lying down. Oh no. She did that in a confessional, I think. I think.
No, I'm pretty sure I think she told Ben, but it was all edited like close enough together. But I
Right,
mean,
right.
being suspicious of Joe having another idol, I mean, is understandable.
Right, exactly. And we've seen seasons before where someone learns the location of an idol in one camp, and then they get switched over to another camp, and they find it in the same spot because they put it in the same spot a lot of times, especially on these uh, the seasons with a fresh cast. All right, so now let's talk about the Get Back. Let's talk about Ben. Let's talk about Lauren. So everyone's kind of rekindling their relationship with one another. Devin goes and talks to Lauren, and Devin's like, "Listen, let's take out the healers. Heroes and hustlers work together to take out the healers." Not a bad play. But what does Lauren say?
Lauren's like, screw this, I'm Team Hustler now, and I mean, I'm sorry, Team Healer now, and I can't blame her because not for nothing, she really didn't have any allies on the Hustler side to begin with. She was pretty much like the lone wolf on that, so she was able to do what Allie was trying to do the entire time and find a home. Lauren kind of found it a little bit with the healers,
Yes,
or so you would think.
yeah, exactly right. And plus, you have to remember on the Hustler tribe, she was in tribal council almost every time.
Yep, the whole
But
team was.
but for Yawa, they didn't make it there once. So they had more tribe unity, I would say. It was a more cohesive unit because they didn't have to, worry about backstabbing one another. Even though
Exactly.
they even though her and Ben were on the bottom of that Yawa tribe, no doubt.
So that would have left that this was Mike, Jess, and Cole's first tribal, right? And everybody else has gone at that point, if I'm correct.
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah, so that's the whole thing with Lauren is Lauren could just say like just already used to saying whatever the hell she wants to say and just screwing whatever the hell she wants.
That is exactly right. So let's jump into. Let's see. Should we jump into the challenge?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right. So let me whip out my notes here because I write down the challenge every single time, much to Dave's dismay. All right. So you will stand on a narrow beam while spinning while spinning a ball around a circular wooden track. On certain intervals, you will move further down the beam, making it more difficult. If you drop or the ball drops, you're out. Easy, right? Ryan drops right away, 2 seconds in. I don't know. It didn't look like it was that. It didn't look like it was that hard on TV, but nothing ever looks
Yeah, but
hard
not for
when you
nothing.
see someone
You're
else doing it.
standing on a beam, like spinning a ball for like a half hour or so, like after going like how many days with no food, your only meal is Outback steak. So, like, even if that challenge was easy, it's probably pretty tiring after a while.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially when you have
Although,
Jeff running around screaming, trying like, "Hey, don't be hypnotized."
oh my God, like Like if I was ever on Survivor, I get distracted so easily. Like the second Jeff says anything, I'd probably drop on any of these like mega focus
He's
challenges.
just really annoying, like hyper energetic, like referee.
I
Like
mean,
that's all he really is.
I love it though. I love it.
No, he's great. He does all that. Then at night, like he's like hyper energetic like, referee by day, and then like psychotherapist by night.
Yeah.
Like,
How about during the challenge when I forgot who dropped out? I think it was Joe, and
it was Joe. He
his
hit
ball
Cole, I
hits.
think. Was
What's
it
up?
Cole or Devin?
His ball hits Cole, which is just and Cole is such Cole just keeps going. Like that was great.
Cole just looks and he's like, okay, just keep spinning.
I have to tell
I'm
you, I've
just
been
gonna
watching.
eat more cinnamon sticks when I get back anyway.
I watch Survivor so many seasons, and I see like many different challenges that are not this one specifically because this is the first time they did it.
Yes.
But a lot of them that are similar to this, where like they're holding something or whatever. I've always been waiting for a moment where like something just like hits another tribe member, they fall off, and then like some controversy arises. Like, no, I didn't. I fell off because they hit me or something, and it wasn't on purpose. Do I get another chance or something? I don't know.
It just like deflects off Cole's body, and he's just like, "Hey, whatever."
Yeah, I know. It's interesting. All right, so it comes down to Desi and Ashley. I'm not very surprised, honestly, by these two. I mean, they both have slimmer bodies and probably very good with balance in some respects. I don't know if I told you this, Dave, but Desi was my female pick to win the game. I mean, things aren't looking so good for her right now, but she won this challenge, so she got that going for her.
It did, but I mean, the fact that she still really hasn't had much screen time, I feel like she's going any week.
Well, I mean, you can say the same thing about Mike, other than the idol find, although he had more screen time today.
No, I feel like Mike's had a good amount of screen time, like every other episode.
Today, he had a lot of screen time.
Yeah.
So let's talk about. All right, so Desi wins immunity. There's a few things we missed before that. Mainly Lauren telling Mike, the healer, the heroes and hustlers plan to vote out the healers. So Lauren backstabs her original hustler tribe, which I guess isn't that bad of a thing to do.
She backstabs Ryan and Devin, who didn't have her back from the beginning. So
and considering the fact that Ryan just voted Ali out, I mean, come on.
Yeah, the hustlers were just like broken. There was like nothing there.
Yeah, it was not a tribe. They're all hustling for themselves, except for Ryan and Devin, who were a very close unit.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Mike actually has this insider knowledge that hey, it's possible that one of us could go home today. They're targeting Cole, and Ben wants to target Cole too.
Yeah, well, Ben friggin' hates Cole basically, but he supposedly made up with Cole, or has at least let Cole believe that they're made up for now. Because he had like Cole had like this whole sit down moment.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, like Cole like has like this whole like, hey, shit, I'm gonna go home now. So, like let me apologize for eating all the cinnamon sticks and all the fish and stuff on camp. And then Ben just keeps bringing up all the things that like Cole did wrong. And he's like, it's okay, man. Like we'll put it past us. Then the confessional. I'm not really happy about this, but I'm gonna just say this just to keep along a little bit longer because he's dumb.
The timing of this was so not genuine. Like it was right after the immunity challenge. It just didn't look good for him, honestly. Like if he had done that like earlier in the episode, or if he went to him right after Lauren and Jessica told Cole, hey, listen, Ben, kind of upset that you're eating the cinnamon sticks or whatever. Like if they did that right then and there, maybe things could have been smoothed over a little bit. But right after an immunity challenge, when you think you're going home, not good.
No, it was just the ulterior motives weren't even like hidden. They were just like thrown right in his face. And Ben saw it, and Ben was just like, I'll just roll with this. I mean, it works in Ben's favor because now Cole thinks that he's allied with Ben, but Ben just like waiting for his turn to like just go at him.
Yeah, that's exactly right. All right, so It seems like we don't know where the votes are going at this point. We see Ben and Lauren talking. And we've seen this in Survivor a few times where we have we have a lot of people left, and there's two people in the middle, and they kind of agree to vote together as like a unit to swing the vote from one alliance to another. It happens fairly frequently. So those two are in the power positions right now. However, Ben made a fantastic point where he says, no matter where I go, the other side of the other alliance is not going to be happy with me, which could greatly affect them voting for him in a jury situation. They could say, oh, hey, Ben, well, you could have stuck with us, so we're not going to vote for you at the end. It's very possible. Ben is I've seen it happen before. What do you think?
No, he's totally caught in the middle. What his best bet is to do is obviously just pick a side and stay with it. That's really like all he's got to do. But the question is like which side. But I think knowing Ben, I think he might want to see how long he can play the middle for.
Right.
Which is smart, but there's like no way this is going to go in his favor, I think, unless he's with somebody who's really hated. Like Chrissy.
I don't think Chrissy's hated. They just see her as very strategic.
Although I don't know.
We'll see what happens next episode.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of resentment towards her later on. I just have like a hunch on that. But the other thing, though, too, bringing up with the going right before the travel council, you had Joe who brought up that Chrissy's really smart. Right. And that, like, hey, other healers, let's go after Chrissy. We have to team up and just get her out.
We just had Layla ask us, who do we think is going to get voted out next week?
You want to answer that now? Or wait to the end?
No, we can answer now. What do you think?
Wow.
Okay, so I'll say what I think. I think the votes are going to go to Cole, or they'll probably split the votes. Actually, do they have enough for a split? 7-4. No, they don't have enough for a split. Oh, actually, no, they do have enough for a split. They did 4-3-4. So they'll probably split the votes. Actually, no, they can't split the votes. Okay, so they'll vote for Cole. So. The 7 of them will vote for Cole, and then either Mike will use his idol on Cole, or Cole will go home. And if they use the idol on Cole, I think probably Chrissy would go.
I feel like they wouldn't target Cole just because now Jessica's out.
You thinking Joe now?
Yeah, I'm thinking they would probably go after Joe, because hey, Joe decided to just pop out the idol. But I think they'll go after Joe, which is a smart decision. I think they won't do anything towards Cole because Ben in particular wants to keep Cole around a little bit because again, Cole is dumb who can be manipulated.
Mm-hmm.
So they can keep Cole for the numbers, and then worst case scenario, if they ever feel threatened, they can just put Cole up and be like, hey, we're all vote out Cole. So Cole's like that little shield for them. But I feel like next week it'll be Joe or maybe even Desi.
Well, the issue with Cole is that he's a big physical threat, so they probably want to vote him out earlier on. I mean, I know that's not how it looked like they're playing this, at least this episode, but typically physical threats are voted out early because they have a chance of winning every single immunity.
That's true, but I mean, you did hear what Chrissy said, like usually we go for the physical threats, but that's not happening for some reason.
Only that episode.
That was only that episode, but I mean, the other thing that we really do have to factor in is what the hell is going on in that promo for next week. What's up with all that digging? And then Ben said that Cole was doing all this digging up, and like they're starting to like physically fight over an immunity idol, like Chrissy over there just fighting Cole, like literally fighting him.
I mean, like the digging in the sand right by the flag totally reminds me of season 22 with Rob Mariano and the other tribe after Emerge. The other tribe just starts digging by the sand, thinking an idol might be there, and so Rob and his alliance mate kind of just walk over with shovels and just start digging there. They don't find anything. It was just it's very reminiscent of that. I don't think an idol is under the flag. I don't think it is, but if it is, Cole could find it. It'd be interesting.
It would be cool to see one there, but like I think I think there probably won't be one because that's again it's just too ridiculous to put one right there. But what I think would be interesting to see like what the fallout of that whole situation is. To see like
Mhm.
who's going to resent who, who's going to be mad at who, because it's like, oh, like you went that violent for an idol.
Yeah, I know. I think there's going to be a lot of resentment towards Cole for that.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I
So I
feel like
think
there's
he
to be a
could
lot
get
of
voted out.
maybe, but I have the suspicion it might be Joe or even Chrissy or maybe even Desi, just because she won the immunity challenge.
Well, maybe, but I'm going to stick with Cole unless an immunity idol is played. So let's jump into tribal council. So Joe
Yeah.
says that he was going to possibly use his idol.
Let's just like bring like just pull that out for a second. Like he pulls out the idol, like, and he just like, hey, like I might use this, and to the point that Jeff even went, wow. Like even Jeff was in shock that that just happened.
I mean, like we've seen this happen before, where someone whips out the idol during a tribal and says, "I'm safe. Who are you voting for?" Specifically, I'm talking about season 28, Kagayan with Tony, um, who ends up winning, obviously. And you know he was famous for just whipping out his idols just during tribal council, um, whether he uses them or not, honestly. So I didn't think Joe was going to be using his idol today. I thought he was going to whip it out and just tell it and just use it as a shield so people don't vote for him. But he ends up using it. What do you think? What do you make of that?
He's too freaking paranoid. I mean,
Yeah.
I understand that he knows that he's a target because of all the crazy stuff he's done, but I think after the fact that he had no votes on him, that's when he realized, oh, I just made a pretty stupid mistake. And then,
Right. I
but
mean,
whenever he whipped it out and he gave it to Jeff and like he used it, he even said like I wanted like a fresh start. So it's just bizarre to me because it's like, oh, you're trying to say like, hey, I trust you guys because I use my idol now and you weren't going to vote for me. Now I don't have one. Like I don't understand like the logic here. Like it was just, I feel like he just got too high and mighty in the moment and he just got mad at Mike for mocking him.
right. Well,
I'm not even kidding. I feel like that played a role in his decision to do that.
right. Maybe. I mean, I love Joe at these tribal councils. It's so amusing.
Yeah,
Um,
he's everything I wanted Alan to be.
yeah, he is. Great point. Man, I miss Alan.
Yeah,
What could have been him
but
and
him
Joe
and Joe on the
together?
same team, I don't know what would have happened. That would have been fun to watch, but I don't think it would have lasted long. I think one of them would have got each other out.
Well, I mean, they did get each other out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
All right, so we get to the vote. Honestly, Joe, it's like you said, Joe made a huge mistake using his idol. I don't think, first of all, I'm not sure it was even his best move to bring it out in the first place.
It
Uh,
wasn't.
there's a time and place for everything. I think he got too cocky that the vote was going to go their way because you see Desi smiling when Joe was talking. She's probably thinking that her alliance is safe as well. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, everybody else was just. I mean, I think it sucked for Chrissy because she was like probably would have wanted Joe out, but she did suggest Jessica and got her way, unfortunately. But I'm sorry, she's the hottest player on the game.
All
But
right, guys. So we have to let it out. Dave has a little crush on Jessica. I mean, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Attractive girl and Survivor.
anyhow, though, it made sense to get her out because they were afraid of the compatibility with her and Cole. So you have her out, you have Cole you can manipulate. So you eliminated the brains on that part.
So Ben and Lauren voted as a unit, as we said before, and they voted with the heroes and the hustlers, which they originally were. So it's not like nothing too surprising there. But the episode, I was expecting almost it to be a tie vote. I thought that was a
Hmm.
possibility for a second, but I know they really just don't like doing tie votes. I know that because they don't want to go to rocks.
Yeah, I was expecting the tie vote too, to be honest. Like the lines were just like what Ben said. Like this was what's gonna like show like the lines, what the alliances are, and how things are gonna go.
That
And
shows how. that does show how close Lauren and Ben are, though.
Yeah,
Something to think about. All right, so
that is.
all right, so I think we'll leave it there. I want to thank you guys for watching this episode. Dave, any comments?
Nothing really. Just catch us next week when we figure out what the hell's going on with all that digging.
Yeah, and maybe an idol's there. Maybe it's not. Maybe Cole. Maybe Cole gets an idol. Maybe Cole's a little too aggressive. Maybe he gets voted
Maybe
out.
Cole goes home.
Maybe Cole goes home when my prediction's right. I don't know.
Find out what happens to Cole next week on Survivor.
Find out what happens to Cole next week on Survivor. All right, so please like, comment, and subscribe down below. Thank you guys for watching so much. Until next week. Peace.